Hi, this is Teresa at The Techie Teacher, and I'm going to show you today how to create a Google Sites page in case you want to use that as a website for your classroom. Google Sites is a free web-based product through Google. It's one of their Google apps, and you have to have a Google account in order to use Google Sites. So I want to make sure that you have that and that you're logged in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to my account here. So once you're in your Google email, then you can go and search for Google Sites. And I'll take you to sites.google.com. It saves a step if you're already logged into your email. You'll see here that I've already created a web page, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new one just to walk you through all the steps. So once you're at sites.google.com and you're logged into your Google account, you're going to go ahead and click the Create button. And for educators, they have a really good template for the classroom site, so that's the one I would recommend using. And then you want to name your site. I'm going to put Techie Teacher Tutorials. Hopefully that's not taken. And then that'll, and in the past I've had to play a little bit with what I want to name my classroom. Be intentional about your name. Think about where you're going to be working. Try to create something that'll encompass all the different classes you have and something that you can take with you when you leave an institution. And so just things to think about when you're creating your name. And a lot of names are taken, so you might have to play a little bit to get a name that will work. Okay, so I'm going to do the code and hit enter. And like I said, this is the part that I've had the most frustration with in creating other sites for classrooms because names have been taken. So once you get to this page, you'll see that they've got a lot of content that's already just filled in. And so you can add to this in any way you want. If you go over here to the edit page, it'll give you the ability to change any of this content that you want to change. All you have to do is click, and you can align things in certain ways. You can delete it altogether. So all of these boxes are just recent announcements is what they're automatically typed as. You can put whatever you want in those. You've got a homework assignments page, and you can change the names of these pages too. So if I want to edit this page, I don't want it to be called homework assignments. I just click in that box. Anything that's got a box around it means that you can change the content for it. And so you'll see there's all these different pages, and you can just delete pages as you want, or click on them and change your content. So I want to call this tutorials. And then here, this is kind of like a blog page for your classroom. So, you know, I don't want their blogs to be on my page. I need to save the settings that I've got here. And you'll see you can go here and then you can edit this post. I can get rid of it altogether if I want. So you can have a place where you can interact with parents and they can have comments. You can add pages. So if you have more pages that you want, you can go and you can add new pages, template to use, web page, file cabinet, list, announcements. You can create the type of page you want. Over here under more stuff, you'll see these are more classroom. That's the classroom announcements. There's a template for a class calendar, and they give you tips throughout the entire thing for how to go through and replace the calendar if you want to make it your own classroom Google Calendar or something like that. Reading list, how to add, customize. So if you want to put what textbooks you're using, what works you're using, you can include that. Useful links, class photos, it's taking a second to come up. But whenever you see the tip, it'll show you how to change things, and to change the major blocks, you always go up here to edit. There's forms and docs. So reading lists, permission trip forms, anything like that you want, they can be there. You can do polls for your classroom, and you can change the sidebar if you want to and customize it. So you can choose elements that you want to get rid of by going there. And then they have, all these different templates. So if there's something that you like better, you can change them as well. If you go to more, that's where you can edit your site layout. So you can change your navigation bar. That's where you can change that content over there. Just by getting rid of things, you can change the order. You can do whatever you want. If you want to include a site map or recent activity site, you just click those buttons and it will add it. And you can change the name up here, instead of Mrs. Smith's classroom, I might put Mrs. Jackson's classroom. So you can still have your name on the page even if it's not part of the URL site that you have. You can have horizontal navigation, which will change the look of your web page a little bit. That's this, but you can go to having a header if you like that better. And I don't think that changed that correctly. So you can choose what you want to do with your page. Let's see. I also wanted to show you that you can and if you ever get messed up, you can always go to theme default and it'll put it back the way it was. You can also go to revision history, so if you really mess things up, you can go back to a different version of your site. Just like you do in Google Docs. And if you want to share with people your site name, you just put in whatever you created. The Techie Teacher Tutorials. Oh. Not sure why it's not showing up. There we go. You have to have the site after it. I think. So here I don't like how my page is laid out at all. So I would probably go through and change the background or change the template a little bit as well. You can go multiple columns, you can do all kinds of different things. And it's one of those things where you just kind of play around with what you want to do. I want to change my page template altogether. So I'm going to still use a web page. But you don't have to use the classroom templates if you don't want to. You can go in and you can pick some of the others as well. So I hope this is helpful and at least kind of starting to get your page set up. And if you don't like this background and the classroom background, don't forget you can go in and you can change that. You go to learn more about working with templates. They have some really good tutorials here on how to do every single thing. But the big thing is, how do you go in and set it up initially, and then make sure you create a sitemap to plug in. And a sitemap is kind of an outline of your page. So what do you want where? What are some of the things that you want on the page? And then just delete pages and content as you see fit. So I hope this was helpful for you. And you can play more with this. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thanks.